Your shalom, Israel. Happy preparation day. Grace and peace be unto the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah!
I pray everybody's doing all right. I pray everybody's had a good week. And if you didn't have a good week, we are nearing the Sabbath, so you're going to have a good day tomorrow, if it be the Lord's will. If you actually are pleased to be able to worship the Lord on his day, that set apart day, the Sabbath day. So all praise be to the Father. Again, let me go ahead and get shout out to the brothers and sisters in the lesson. Let me say, go ahead, sisters in the lesson. Katrina, how you doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's the afternoon? Good morning. My bad. Good morning. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Firstborn, first in the class. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Yalasia, how you doing? Good morning. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Sarah, how you doing? Good morning. Peace be with you. What's going on? What's going on? And Christina, good morning. Good morning. Peace be with you. Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath. Grace and peace be with you. Hey, yes, and yes, it is a double Sabbath. New moon this Sunday. The first day of the 5th month will be Sunday or the first day of the week. So make sure you get your preparations, get you enough stuff for that to Sabbath and Sunday. I'm sorry. Why did I say Saturday? Get enough stuff for the new moon and the Sabbath because there's no buying or selling on those 2 days. Hey, when would a new moon be gone so that you may sell corn? So if you don't have to sell corn on that day, make sure you are off. So, and sell corn is in reference to work. So you can get off, go ahead and make that happen. And like Elijah said, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you already subscribed, then you already got that covered. If you haven't shared, then you better get on it. And if you ain't commenting on the classes, make sure you're commenting on the classes. We have way too many people in the congregation. Hey, people in the congregation should be commenting all the time. We should have at least 5 comments per video drop, especially, well, really all of them. The lessons that come out, the Sabbath classes, the Psalms teachings, and of course the shorts that come out, which put me out pretty much almost every day if possible. You know what I'm saying? Try to get them every day if I can. We should have all kind of comments. We should have all kind of shares. We should have everything. We have plenty of people to get this word out because again, we understand that what we're sharing, what we're speaking on is the truth. And if you are with this church, you don't believe it's the truth, it's the best thing you need to hear, better than whatever else people are being taught, whatever they're learning. This is the direction you need to go. If you don't believe that, hey, then you probably should be considering getting a new church or setting up another one. You know what I'm saying? That's what's got to happen. And for everybody that's not in this congregation, guess what? Share it anyway so you can start sharing people, showing people what the truth is. And if you don't have a congregation, get you one. Like my man said on Toy Story, if you don't have one, get one. But anyways, let's get ready to continue on. Hey, what's going on, Shia? Grace and peace be with you. Shalom, happy prep day, happy prep day. Don't forget to send that too. You ain't sent it yet. You know what I'm talking about. So let's go to Matthew chapter 26, verse 6, and we already start this lesson. Matthew chapter 26, verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box, a very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this woman have done be told for a memorial of her. So whenever we bring out the true gospel of Jesus Christ, the gospel that's spoken to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the globe, the message that's given to the people who are the 12 tribes, which are black people, which are the slave descendants, the people that are oppressed to this day. Why are we oppressed to this day? Why are we sending this message? Because we are letting our people know that we are in the punishments of the Most High God. We are going through all of the calamities that we brought upon ourselves. We're going through these things because we did not keep his commandments and still aren't keeping these commandments to this day. So being that we are in punishment, being that we are in captivity, in slavery, oppressed, then we need to make sure that we remember when we bring this message out, that we tell those people to start keeping the laws, following instructions, not just going to church and then just wearing a church hat, talking about, yeah, I'm righteous and I'm holy and saved and sanctified. Now, I ain't talking about that garbage. I'm talking about the truth. I'm talking about following the commandments. I'm talking about wearing fringes. I'm talking about not eating unclean foods, pork, catfish, shrimp, lobster tail, all that stuff. I'm talking about keeping the Sabbath day, not buying, working, and selling on the Sabbath day, fellowshipping on the Sabbath day. I'm talking about not celebrating Christmas, not celebrating Easter, coming in and getting in that tent on the Feast of Tabernacles, fasting on the Day of Atonement. I'm talking about these things, which is the truth, which falls in line with the instructions God gave us on Mount Sinai, yeah, we still keep those laws. It ain't just the law of Moses, it's the law of God. God gave it to Moses. Why would he tell Moses and all those people to do something, then say we don't have to do it? Oh, we are more special than those people. No, goofy. We got to keep the commandments. Stop thinking what everybody tells you is right, because you got to understand the truth that
I'm surrounded by idiots.
So being that we know all these foolish people out here, or all these people that are trying to deceive us and get us to go away from our God, like the message says, when we give this message to those people who we understand are the Israelites, we're always going to remember the woman that put the ointment on the body of our Messiah, Jesus the Christ. Hey, by the way, I seen you just now joining. What's going on, Kenny? Grace and peace be with you. Yeah, we still waiting on you to get on up here. Travel north. Get on up out of South Carolina. We tired of you being down there. We tired of you being on down there. Bring the fam on up. But let's go ahead and get into it. Psalm chapter 113, verse 1. Psalm 113 and 1. And by the way, if you are glad it is the preparation day, if you're glad it's Friday, hey, put a 1 in the chat. You are glad to be able to get your rest day tomorrow. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, put that 1 in the chat. And if you're just indifferent, it doesn't make a difference, then you just put a 2 in the chat. But let me go ahead and start it off for y'all. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. Hey, I'm glad because, man, it's been a long, like I said, long week. But, it's just a lot to do, man. It's a lot going on. The scriptures are true. He said, I'm going to wear out the saints of the Most High. And I be worn out a lot. I'm telling you. I woke up this morning worn out. I was like, golly. Whew. So I wanted to go back to sleep, but I had stuff to do. So, yeah, man. Just a lot happening. It's a lot happening. Yes. Hey, and what Kenny said, there was a study done. It's about less than 2% of the world are aware of what's going on. Yeah, absolutely. And people think watching the news is being aware of what's going on in the world. That's not being aware of what's going on in the world. Being aware of what's going on in the world is actually being in tune with the agendas, what's happening, what people are expecting to do to set up things for the future. That's really being aware. Understanding, like, basically, if you was wearing a mask and afraid during the time of the coronavirus, I'm just gonna say it. If you was wearing a mask and afraid, you ain't aware of what's going on in the world. If you was sitting in your house because you thought all the coronavirus was gonna just jump on you, and then you needed to wear a hazmat suit to leave your house, you're not aware of what's going on in the world. You one of those people that was sheep, that was deceived and tricked. You one of those people, even it's people in the truth, so-called. I'm saying in the truth because they just call themselves in the truth because they know they're Israelites. People that so-called in the faith was afraid of the virus, like really was terrified, was worried, was like, man, we got to make sure we got on our mask. We can't have large gatherings. Man, you sound like the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? You sound like, that's what I thought. Every time I heard, I was like, oh my gosh. Even people so-called in the truth believe in this. Man.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
So we got to understand. Let's go ahead and focus on what's up. So let's go ahead and dive into the lesson. You know what I'm saying? Let's end that rant. Psalms chapter 113. Psalms 113, verse 1. Praise ye the Lord. Praise, O ye servants of the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. See, Psalms is repeatedly showing you that you need to praise him. But praising him, again, is appreciating him. Understanding all that he's done for you and all that he wants to do for you and all that he's doing for you currently. You got past, present, and future of God providing and leading you through the paths of righteousness. And you aren't praising him. You're not like thankful. You're not waking up. See, here's what you need to be doing. This is what I when I wake up, you know what I'm saying? When I remember to pray, because a lot of times I forget to pray. And that's me, you know what I'm saying, need to step up my game because I have to pray more. My prayer life ain't trash as it was when I first came to the truth. But what I'm saying is you wake up and you pray, you like, Lord, thank you. When I'm praying, I'm first telling him, thanks for everything. Like, thank you for my health. You know what I'm saying? The things we take for granted. Thank you for the fact that I have food. Thank you that I have a house to cover shame, that I have raiment to cover me. You know what I'm saying? Cover my nakedness. I have these basic things, the chief things in life. So yeah, it might not be to the level I want, might not be the level of abundance that I desire, but I still have this. I'm thankful that I'm in the truth, most of all. Thankful that the Lord hasn't taken his spirit from me. I'm thankful that I have not veered off into wickedness and decided that I want to, follow the ways of the world. I'm appreciative of that because I've been in here for, about 8 years now. And being in the faith for 8 years, you see people come, you see people go. You see people that were here before you got there and they fall away. And it's a very sad and scary thing because you're actually watching someone die. You're watching someone just choose to just, subject themselves to the danger that's coming. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very scary and sad thing. But the thing is, I'm appreciative that I'm still here. The Lord could have removed me from this. He could have done that. And I understand. Matter of fact, let me go back to the comment Kenny brought up because again, it's very relevant to this for what I'm saying right now. That it's a study done that shows that less than 2% of the world are aware of what's going on. Less than 2%. So imagine that less than 2% of people were in the world is going on. Now, we know the majority of those people are going to be heathen. People that are heathen, they understand what's happening. They know what's going on. They, you know what I'm saying? They're living their lives and they like understand, okay, look, we are setting up this agenda and I have family members that are part of it. See, us as Negroes, as the children of Israel, we're not in that 2%. Well, I mean, let me say that. We're in that 2%, but we're like a very small percentage of that 2%. I want everybody to understand what I'm saying because the people that are setting the agendas, they're going to be the ones that are going to have an understanding of what they're doing. Just like me, I understand what I'm doing as far as in this walk because I'm trying to set up a standard, I'm trying to set up a community, I'm trying to set up, trying to get a tribe, a nation of people to believe in this word. So I know the agenda that I have. So the people that are around me understand that agenda, the agenda that I'm pushing. So being that I'm pushing that agenda, then it's going to be, I'm a small percentage of that. So the people around me are going to understand my agenda. But there's also going to be people that are so-called black that have heard me say this thing that are not aware of what's going on. And this is within our community. So imagine this small percentage of people. And by the way, that 2% is probably less, it's less than 1% of black people that actually believe with the Israelites. And then there's less than half of them that's in there that actually attempt to keep commandments. And then there's another less than half that actually do keep the commandments. So we have a very, very tiny percentage because remember, a good understanding have all they that do the commandments. So if you don't do the commandments, then guess what? You're not going to be in the know and understand what's going on in this world because you're not going to have that wisdom that God is going to bestow upon you. A commandment keeping not only builds your knowledge, but it builds your wisdom, your understanding of how life is going on. You have to apply to actually get it. If you don't apply, you ain't going to get it. By the way, what's going on, Lawa? I see you in the building. Grace and peace be with you. Happy preparation day. Happy preparation day. So let's continue on. Psalm chapter 113, verse 1. Again, praise ye the Lord. Praise, O ye servants of the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. Praising the name of the Lord, again, is appreciating the reputation that God has, appreciating the man he is. If you don't praise and appreciate the man he is, then you are never going to follow these commandments. You are never going to follow them consistently because what you're going to do is you're going to really be like, I take him for granted. It's niggas like God come dime a dozen. That's how people think. They think people like God come a dime a dozen. Y'all better not get me for saying the N-word, TikTok. Yeah, I'm black, so I can say that word. And if you don't think so, shut the hell up. But anyways, we got to understand that, God don't come a dime a dozen. God is one. He's one of one. You know what I'm saying? He is the standard of good. So being that God is the standard of good, like his son his only son said, who never sinned. He said, don't call me good. God is good. Why did he say that? Because he knows he's one of one. He's the greatest man to ever live. He's the greatest being. So if you don't praise that, if you don't look up to him, then you are not grateful for who that man actually is. Psalm chapter 113, verse 2. Blessed be the name of the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. And again, his name, who he is, his character, what he stands for, the equity that exudes from him, that fairness, that truth. Man, praise that forevermore. He's always going to be the standard of greatness. That's what he's saying. I'm always going to appreciate him forever and ever, perpetually. Psalms 113 and 3, from the rising of the sun, from the going down there of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised. So from the east all the way to the west, he shall be appreciated. He shall be exalted. That's what you got to do. And again, that appreciation is where you're going to get out your thank you, Lord. Thank you, praise. People like, thank you, Jesus, and all that. That's showing appreciation. That's why people say that. They call that praising him. Why? Because they're saying, I love who you are and I love what you've done for me. But we can't just love him when he thinks he does for us. We got to love him when he doesn't think he does for us. We got to always appreciate him. That's why it says that blessed be his name from this time forth and forevermore. Even when I'm not getting what I want, blessed be the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to let that sink in. Matter of fact, everybody that's listening, I want y'all to hear this. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Even when you're not getting what you want, when you're displeased, when you're not in a position that you appreciate, you still need to appreciate it. No matter what's going on, no matter how good things are, how bad things are, you always praise his name. You always are thankful for who he is. Because if he wasn't who he is, then you would have even less than that. You wouldn't even have the spirit to actually carry on and live. So understand those things. Psalms 113 and 4. Who the Lord is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. Again, he's better than every other king, every other race of people. And the people that follow him are above every other race of people, aka Israel. So yes, I said it. Black people are the greatest people on the planet. The slave descendants are at the top. We're at the top of the mountain. Everybody wants to be like us for a reason, because we are the true gods of the planet. Psalms 113:5. Who is like unto the Lord our God, who dwelleth on high? And it says, who's like him? Who can compare to him? Nobody can compare to the Lord. Nobody. You striving to be him. He is always going to be at the mountaintop. Nobody can reach his greatness. Nobody can achieve that. He's the creator of all things, and he is the one that gives us direction on how to be like him. He's the originator. So if you're trying to be like the originator, then you're not going to surpass him. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. Psalms chapter 113, verse 6. Who humbleth himself to behold the things that are in the heaven and in the earth. And he says he humbles himself, meaning he understands that this is Christ now. He humbled himself for us. He brought himself in the image of a man, because he could have dwelt with his Father in heaven forever and ever. Because remember, he created everything. So he didn't have to do that, but he done that because he loves us. And what's going on, Willie Chill? Grace and peace be with you. Happy prep day. Happy prep day. Hopefully you're getting ready for the Sabbath. And if not, hey, go ahead and watch this and kind of learn who our God is, the name and reputation of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? If you already in the truth, all praise be to the Most High. Yeah! Psalms chapter 113, verse 7. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth the needy out of the dunghill. When it says he raised up the poor, the people that are looked at as not special, that are not great, that are not spectacular, it's just a basic person. Matter of fact, they below basic. He says he lifted the poor out of the dunghill. Who are those people? That's us. We're the ones that we're seen as the bottom of society. Why? Because we are the ones struggling. We're the ones without resources. We're the ones without all those things. We're the ones without access to mass media where we can actually put ourselves out there, because we're going to be the poor. And that's why it's going to be hard for those of us that actually do want to do right. It's going to be hard for us to raise up, because the ones that will be exalted are the wicked ones. Psalms 10 talked about that. The wicked ones will be exalted because the wicked ones act like those people. If you're one of those people that's, as long as you that, then you're going to get, plenty of airtime. You'll get, put out in Front Street. Why? Because the world wants to continue on. So if it wants to continue on, it's going to make sure that people look like them and act like them. Make sure that they are gentiles. This is a word I just now learned, just now seen yesterday. Interesting thing, but I'm going to touch on that another day. Anyways, he raised up the poor out of the dust and bring the needy out of the dunghill. We are also poor financially. We are poor I'm talking about as a race. We are poor, financially, resource-wise. We don't have access to all of those things. So guess what? We're the ones going to be raised out of that, because he's gonna do this. Verse 8, that he may set him with princes, even with the princes of his people. So he's going to bring us up to the top. He's going to put us on the throne. That's what he's going to do. He can take anything and bring it anywhere. That's what makes God great. Yeah, think about this. I want to just paint this picture for y'all. The children of Israel in Egypt. Matter of fact, let's see who's paying attention. What were the children of Israel doing in Egypt? I want to touch on this really, really quick, and then I'm going to explain what I'm saying, because I need people to understand this. I'm going to read verse 13 again. By the way, this comes from 1 Samuel 2. If anybody's read 1 Samuel 2, you're going to see it emulates the exact same thing. Psalms 113:8, that he may set with him princes, even with the princes of his people. I'm sorry, verse 7 I want. Psalms 113:7. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth the needy out of the dunghill. So he says he lifteth the needy out of the dunghill. So those people that are poor, those people that are without, those people in a horrible state, those people he has on the bottom, those people he has struggling, those people he has suffering, those are the ones that he's going to lift out of the dust. Hey, hold on, time out. We got people in the truth on this class, and nobody knows what the children of Israel were doing in Egypt. Oh, hold on, thank you. All right, man, I already say. I said either we got a super delay, or people not paying attention, or they didn't know the answer. All right, thank you. All right, Christina, all right, we were slaves. So the children of Israel were in the dunghill. We were the poor in Egypt. We were the ones we were literally the servants. Everybody else was living regular lives. Then you had the Israelites that were suffering hard bondage. We were the servants. We were the slaves. We the ones that were in that dust. When you're in the dust, everybody's walking all over you. You know what I'm saying? All the dirt's all on you. You're all dirty. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't clean. You ain't set up nicely. Those are the poor. So he says he raised up the poor out of dust and lifted the needy out of the dunghill. Now, what am I doing to explain? I'm doing this to show y'all the greatness of God. Why do y'all think everybody understood, according to Jeremiah 23, that God was the absolute man? He was absolutely all powerful. They knew he was omnipotent. They knew that only someone or something with great power, with immense power, could do this. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 6, and in verse 7, I'm sorry. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which bringeth out the children of Israel out of the land, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. He says, brought up the children of Israel. Why did he bring them up? Because he brought them out of bondage, out of the dunghill, out of the dust. He brought us up. We were on the ground. We were on the bottom. We was in bondage. We were suffering. We were crying out. We was living a terrible life. We were living terrible lives. And he brought us up out of that. See, every race saw that these slaves became a mighty nation because God carried them. He led them. And they knew the God that opened up the Red Sea and swallowed up on the enemies, the God that brought them into the wilderness and came and conquered a whole bunch of established nations. I don't think people understand how ridiculously amazing that is. If you have countries that were set up, you got to remember, our nation was established after many of these people was already there. Remember, when Abraham was wandering through, what's that place called? When Abraham was wandering through the land of Canaan, it was already people there because it was the land of Canaan. There were Canaanites there. Before Abraham was born, there were people living out there. Canaanites, there were Girgashites, Amorites. All of these people were there. So guess what these people are going to do over time? They're going to build and get stronger. Just like if you live in a home. I'm going to think about it like this. Everybody that lives in a home, when you first move into a house, especially if your first time moving to an apartment, it's empty. You know what I'm saying? You looking like Will Smith looking at the apartment, ain't nothing in there, nobody there. It's empty. And then if you were in that apartment for 4 or 5 years, what happens? Now it's done filled up. You got couches, you got chairs, you got tables, you got all the furnishings you need. Matter of fact, when you first moved in, and put a one in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. When you first moved in, you might have had sofas that didn't match. You might have had a kitchen table that didn't look like nothing like the chairs that went with it. You just put regular chairs with it. You might have fold up metal chairs pulled up to your unfoldable white table that you get from Walmart. You had a bunch of just random stuff around the house. Why? Because you just moved in, so you just got regular stuff. Now, after you've been there for a while, you start getting matching furniture. You know what I'm saying? Start getting things that look nicer. Let me give an example. When I first came to Truth, it's just like a home. I came into Truth, and I had to get rid of all my clothes. It was mixed fabrics. I had no fringes. I started getting fringes, and I started, I had a lot of poor man fringes, because I couldn't buy a bunch of, the regular fringes with the things. Matter of fact, this is one of my first sets of shirts fringe. I got nice fringes on my Broncos shirt. I don't know. Leave me alone, y'all. But anyways, it's one of my first shirts. But the point I'm making is I started realizing I started getting more and more clothing that I didn't need. Then I started to accumulate clothing that were nicer. Well, that's the same thing with your home. Your home starts getting nicer because you've been there for a while. So anyways, I'm explaining this to say all those heathen were established and had a nice society. They had walls built. They had armies. They established all of these things. Well, us as Israel, we didn't have none of this stuff established. We just was walking around. We had cattle and stuff from the other nations. We was out in the wilderness creating and making our own weapons and stuff like that. We was wandering around. We didn't have nothing established. But God's like, okay, all right, go on in there. Go take over. That's why we were afraid, because we seen these nations with mighty walls and established warriors and kingdoms. And, they was out there. Now you have people, specialized soldiers. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said we're like grasshoppers to them, and they're like giants to us. They giant, they big, they strong. They've been fighting. So it looked like an impossible task. God is the one that brought us up out of the dunghill. He brought us up to be able to overcome enemies that in any other case would have been impossible to defeat. This is the God we serve. This is the one that's on our side. This is who we got to praise daily. We got to appreciate what he's done for us. But when we don't appreciate that, then we're going to be those people that are going to walk into sin because we don't really understand the mighty works that the Most High God done for us and where he's brought us from. When you realize where he's brought you from, you can only stop, reflect, and be all praises. Thank you, Lord. Even myself saying this right now, I'm feeling it. Like, it's just like, dang. And, I don't really do the feeling it too much, but you know what I'm saying? Just really feeling it, just thinking about it, like, oh man, thank you. It's one of those things that can make you get choked up because you really like, man, he really loves me. I have to appreciate what he's brought me from, where he's brought me from, because I could still be there. So just remember those things. Psalms 113:8 again, that he may set with him princes, even with the princes of his people. He maketh the barren woman to keep house. and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord. Hey, and just remember that too. It says he maketh the barren woman. So the woman that can't have children is going to give her many children. We've seen that happen. We saw Hannah be able to have children. She couldn't. She had children though. We had the woman, Elisha, blessed. He blessed that woman. She didn't have no children. He got her a child. Same thing with, of course, Rebecca couldn't have children. She had the twins. She had Jacob and Esau. So the Lord can bring forth anything he wants to. You know what I'm saying? We all know about Sarah. Sarah was 90 years old, conceived, had a child. Isaac was born into this world. Shout out to my son Isaac. Yeah, y'all see you on here. Yeah. But anyways, we have to remember the Lord can do whatever he wants to do. He has that ability. He has that great power to accomplish whatever task. And that's why the scripture says, through God, or I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. So we have to remember the power he has, and then we have to appreciate the power he has. He can do all of these things. This God right here is worthy to be praised, because that not only that character and reputation, but his power is to be well respected, because he can do whatever he wants. He's just like a personal genie, you know what I'm saying? And he's on our side. Everybody doesn't have him. We do. All praise be to the Father. So pray y'all was edified. Pray everybody gains some understanding. This is Psalm chapter 113. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's prep day. And Lord's will, see y'all tomorrow. Unless I go live again today. We'll see.